Over the past few months, I've been using the Xero HFS exclusively for almost all of my workouts because with all Xero shoes, this HFS offers an extremely minimal flat sole that allows the wearer to get maximum ground feel. I've actually owned this shoe for about 9 months and only recently brought it out. And if I remember correctly, I actually bought it because it was on a closeout sale as Xero was introducing a new shoe. They were introducing the HFS 2. I've always wondered what the practical differences were between these two shoes for someone who mostly weightlifts like me, but I didn't think too much about making a comparison video because again, the HFS original was discontinued. That was until recently when Xero Shoes brought the original back due to popular demand, and now that I have both in hand, let's take a look at these two options when considering them for typical gym exercises. When it comes to design, the Xero Shoes HFS Original and HFS 2 are nearly identical in terms of the upper. When I looked at the product photos on the Xero website, I actually thought that they did look slightly different, but in person, they are almost exactly the same. Both feature a knitted mesh upper that's reinforced along the edges with some smooth plastic. Sure, these side stripes do feature slightly different textures, and the HFS2 removed this rear, stuck on little plastic part, but again, the two are nearly basically the exact same design. Something that you may not be able to tell from the product pages is that the uppers on both of these shoes are actually two separate layers that are then combined to make the actual upper. So this is comprised of the knitted mesh upper that you visually see and the sock liner insides that you step into. The difference that I want to point out is that with the HFS Original, I've noticed that the two liners actually move independently much more easily than with the HFS 2. As you can see with this all black HFS Original, as I move, you can actually see the lighter gray sock liner inside of the shoe. Again, this is because the two layers are not securely attached to each other. With the HFS2, they are more securely attached to each other and you get a more uniform, seamless looking shoe because the two layers don't interact independently from each other and you don't potentially see two different colors. So in terms of this aspect of the upper design, I do prefer the HFS2 simply because you don't see two separate colors on a shoe that I intentionally got because it was all black. The biggest design change between the two shoes is going to be the actual sole. With the HFS Original, you get this more uniform flat sole design that's been used in many other shoes. The HFS 2 goes with a tread pattern that's more distinguished and with separated lugs. This makes sense because the HFS by name is designed to be a road runner shoe, so having a more aggressive tread pattern just helps to increase traction in a variety of different environments and conditions. In terms of comfort and fit, I personally think that the uppers feel the exact same. No difference to me, so one's not better than the other. However, when it comes to the sole, I would say that there is a slight difference. Because the lugs are more pronounced and separated on the HFS2, when I stand, I do feel that there is a slight lift and little points under my feet. It's nothing serious at all, but is something that you can feel when compared to the HFS Original that is essentially just a flat sole with some small grooves cut into it. The HFS Original sole just feels more uniform as if it were just one solid layer under your feet. For my personal training, I absolutely prefer the HFS Original. That more seamless flat sole design allows me to just get better ground feel and ultimately allows me to better transfer all the forces that I'm exerting when I'm lifting directly into the ground. And in my personal opinion, the HFS Original sole is just a much better option if you're looking to buy one of these shoes for lifting. However, if I were to choose between one of these shoes to go for a run, especially outside, I'd definitely go with the HFS 2. The tread pattern is just way more aggressive and provides so much more grip. The HFS Original sole will perform just fine for road running as that's what it was designed for, but I'd imagine that it may get a little sketchy if you were to run a lot on wet ground. Personally, I'm perfectly fine with using my originals on the treadmill, but that's as optimal as you can get in terms of a running surface. Moving forward though, the HFS 2 is going to be my first choice for outdoor running, and the difference in traction and mix is just a no-brainer for me. Lastly, let's talk about price and value. Again, I purchased my HFS Original on closeout and it was only $60. However, now that it's back in stock and into regular production, it's also back to the regular price of $120, the exact same as the HFS 2. So realistically, price is not a factor between the two shoes because they are the exact same price. Again, in terms of the upper design, they are basically identical. To me, the determiner between the two is going to come down to the sole. If you're buying one of these shoes primarily to run, particularly outside, then the HFS 2 is going to be the clear winner. The tread pattern is going to provide you with much more grip and traction, making it a better, safer shoe to run with, in my personal opinion. But I also live here in Washington State where it does rain a lot and the ground stays wet for a good amount of the year, so that does affect my opinion. However, if you're purchasing one of these shoes to primarily lift weights indoors inside a gym that has largely smooth, flat surfaces, then I think the HFS Original is the way to go. The more minimal sole, it just provides you better ground feel and is the better lifting shoe because it allows you to better transfer exerted forces into the ground, which can ultimately help you lift heavier. So in summary, these two shoes may look basically the same, but the difference in soles do make them geared towards two very different groups of people and activities. The HFS Original is great for indoor weightlifting and moving around on predictable, dry surfaces. The HFS 2 is great for running outdoors in a variety of different conditions, but may not be the best for weightlifting because the lugs in the soles are a bit pronounced. And that's it, HFS Original versus HFS 2. In my personal opinion, two equally great shoes, just really geared towards two different aspects of my life. One for weightlifting, one for kind of everything else outdoors, going outside the house. I hope this video has helped you out. If it did, I'd appreciate you giving the video a thumbs up, sharing it around, comment down below with any thoughts or questions that you may have. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more content like this. And if you want to further support my work, consider hitting the join button down below to become a member of this channel or become a patron on Patron. Thanks a lot for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.